we'll move on from boxing now. I thought I'd just bring it up because maybe to turn this into a clip of KSI's most outrageous decision if he is fighting Jake Paul at the end of the day. But I wanted to ask you about Rudy Gobert and the Chicago Bulls, because that's been a thing that's been reported to be happening for quite a while now. Is that a thing that you think would happen? Because the thing is, as well as Utah, they don't have Quinn Snyder as their coach anymore, which means they might be bringing in a more offensive, an offensive coach, which could mean if they were offered Nikola Vucevic and a first or two for Rudy Gobert, do you think that is a win-win for both sides? Because if I'm the Bulls, I think I would probably do it. I think it's something they might need to look into. And if I'm
Utah
the Jazz,
get Mike D'Antoni,
yeah, holy
if
crap.
he gets Mike D'Antoni, I'd do the deal today. If you know you about to get Mike D'Antoni, yeah.
How old is Mike D'Antoni? Surely that guy is, no offense, ready to fall off the perch. He's 71 years old. That is very old.
Yeah.
Like,
hey.
If you get Mike D'Antoni, so first of all, you start off with Mike D'Antoni, a man that is offensively gifted as a coach, and you're bringing in Nikola Vucevic, a terrific three-point shooter when he's on, that will average you like 16 points per game, 10 rebounds. That'd be an interesting thing to see. That'd be a bit of a win, I think, for Utah.
Yeah. Because honestly, I think Vucevic is underrated in a lot of aspects of his game. Yes, he's not the best defender, but I think he's a lot more. He's better defensively for what Utah needs him.
Yeah,
because he can actually guard the perimeter. Yes, he's not the best inside, but you got Hassan Whiteside still. That's what you use him for, and he's cheaper than Rudy Gobert drastically. Vucevic, but he brings you better shooting. He can space the floor. You can put him in the corner. And if you do hypothetically get Mike D'Antoni, the offense that y'all been asking for would be so much better. Now you got Don looking like an MVP. Now you got the role players who I actually do agree with Quinn Snyder. I do think a different coach would actually bring out, because I really think this team is a really good team, But you replace Rudy Gobert with Vucevic, I think they would actually be a lot more respected than what they are. The only other thing I might change is that I would try to find something to swap Mike Conley for.
I was just about
to. But if you can swap let's say hypothetically you could swap Mike Conley. If you gave a Mike Conley and a first for John Wall, I think y'all would be in the door.
I wouldn't even do that. I would be offering Mike Conley in a first for Kevin Love. Could you imagine Donovan Mitchell at the point guard, right? So you're now running Donovan Mitchell at the point guard. He's not a good playmaker, but Mike D'Antoni, if anyone can teach Donovan Mitchell to set up an offense, I think he can. He could set up an offense. His playmaking might improve drastically. And imagine him having like Kevin Love, Vucevic, and Bojan, is it Bogdanovic? Is that his last name? Or I don't even know. But if they had all the three white boys, right? Maybe not good defensively, but every single one of them are like 40% from three type shooters. I mean, you'd have to add in a lot of defense from maybe some free agent type players, but you could even try and run Bojan like at the 2 at one stage. Do what the Cavs did with having Kevin Love at the 3 at times during that as well. I would even be looking to offer, and they still got Royce O'Neal. Like Royce O'Neal is a good defender that can come in. You still got Hassan Whiteside. I think they'll try and re-sign if he doesn't go to like the Lakers or something, which is rumored. You could always try and do all of that, and I would be doing that. If I was them, I would say that the Cavs need a backup point guard. I would offer them Mike Conley, and I would offer the Cavaliers Mike Conley, a first-round pick, and then you're bringing in Kevin Love, a dude that can start for you and average you 14 points per game, 10 rebounds on 39% from 3, 40% from 3, and he's finally healthy now. Defensively, it would be pretty shocking, but offensively, it'd probably be the most fun team to watch in the game.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think they would be a lot better defensively than we really give them credit for. Because honestly, yes, they wouldn't be having Joe Ingles, because I think Joe Ingles might not play next season. A lot of people been kind of saying, but
first of all, with Joe Ingles is he did his ACL. He didn't want to sign back with Utah in the first place. There was reports saying he had an offer by the Adelaide 36ers on the table where he's from. He's from Adelaide in Australia. He has a son with autism as well. I think we've spoken about this, and there was a rumor he would be wanting to return home. But when he wanted to return home, Utah came out of nowhere and offered him that $14 million year extension. You remember that? So he couldn't. I think Ingles will go to the NBL myself. I don't think he'll ever play for Portland. So unless they offer him a decent deal. But I think it's enough for him. He'll retire from the NBA. They were saying he was going to retire during COVID. So, yeah. And I don't think he'll come back to Utah either.
No. Which is where they have to look for something else. So it would be a decent wing for them, a cheap wing, because they probably wouldn't be able to trade for OG Anunoby. That might be a tough task, but they going to have to poach, maybe even though he's not defensive. Probably get a player like Terrence Ross, who said he want to get up out of there.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, but I think Utah really can get it done. That's the point I'm trying to. I think they can really get it done. The only problem they face is if they can move Mike Conley, and can they get a Rudy Gobert for Vucevic trade to be 1-for-1, or could they leverage Rudy Gobert somehow to get Vucevic in some extra picks or additional role player or something? Because if they can get maybe some
Derrick Jones would be
good.
That would match up contracts too. If they could get Vucevic, Derrick Jones, and a protected first even for Rudy Gobert, I would consider it.
Honestly, that would be the role player I would say Utah was looking for, because Derrick Jones Jr. is a very underrated piece as well.
Too.
Yeah. Shoot, maybe even try to call New Orleans and see what Larry Nance is going for, get a player like that. I think it's a lot of names out. It's a lot of things they can do. They got a lot of wiggle room.